Zhou Yuxiang, founder of Black Lake Technologies, revolutionizes Chinese manufacturing. From a 34-year-old Sichuan lad to a guest of the Premier. On July 29, 2025, the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology, MIT, of China released the list of outstanding builders of socialism with Chinese characteristics. Among the 100 honorees, 34-year-old Zhou Yuxiang, founder of Black Lake Technologies, Heihu Keji, was prominently listed, one of only 4 selected from Shanghai. Source: MIT official website. This young man, born in Sichuan, a computer science graduate from Dartmouth College, and a former Wall Street investment banker, has deeply cultivated the field of industrial digitization. On October 14 of the same year, he was invited to a symposium with the Premier, sharing his innovative practices as a representative of private entrepreneurs. The entrepreneurial story and industrial impact behind him are overturning the outside world's inherent perceptions of Chinese tech startups. What is most counterintuitive is this young man did not rely on stacking cutting-edge algorithms, nor did he bet on high-end manufacturing tracks like aerospace. Instead, relying solely on a piece of lightweight software with an annual fee of just 10,000 renminbi, he has served 34,000 Chinese factories, capturing 42.7% of the market share and firmly securing the top spot in the industry. In contrast, similar industrial management software in Europe and America often costs tens or even hundreds of thousands of euros annually. These systems are complex and have extremely high barriers to entry. Even in manufacturing powerhouses like Germany and the United States, their adoption rate is less than 30%, leaving a vast number of small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, to shy away from digitization. The core logic is simple. This is not a rigid replication of the Western Industry 4.0 model, but rather like installing a lightweight app on an old mobile phone, no replacing existing production hardware, no full process reconstruction. It precisely targets the most basic, rigid needs on the shop floor: order chasing, labor hour tracking, and process linking. It is like an industrial WeChat. Workers can report progress by scanning a QR code, and bosses can control the overall situation by scrolling through their phones. No professional training is required, ordinary operators can get started quickly. It is perfectly adapted to the actual working conditions of Chinese SME factories. Even more disruptive is that 90% of his clients are small and medium-sized factories launching digital transformation for the first time. In the industrial clusters of the Yangtze River Delta and the Pearl River Delta, he has replicated a standardized transformation path that can be promoted rapidly. This solves a problem that has remained unresolved in Western manufacturing for years: how to bring digital technology down to the massive volume of SMEs. Next, we will dismantle this anti-elite, implementation-heavy innovation logic to see how it rewrites the rules of the global manufacturing game and why it renders Western inherent cognition obsolete. Zhou Yuxiang's entrepreneurial starting point stemmed from a nerve-wracking cross-border comparison. In 2015, acting as an investment banking consultant accompanying CRRC in the acquisition of an old German automotive shock absorber factory, he witnessed the management chasm between Chinese and foreign manufacturing firsthand. German factory managers sat in control rooms, monitoring the operating parameters of every machine in real time via data backends, relying on data to precisely locate problems and optimize processes. Meanwhile, domestic factories were generally stuck in the management by walking around stage, where bosses and workshop directors had to circle the floor 3 or 4 times a day, relying on their eyes to track progress and experience to judge problems, low efficiency and prone to errors. Behind this gap lies the fundamental difference between European, American, and Chinese manufacturing structures. German SMEs account for over 90% of the sector but rely on massive government subsidies and industry capability centers to barely push digitization forward. The US industrial internet focuses on aerospace, high-end electronics, and similar fields, turning a blind eye to the pain points of the vast number of SMEs. Zhou Yuxiang initially copied the Western model, founding Mada Data to create high-end industrial big data products, but ultimately failed miserably because Chinese factories lacked basic data accumulation and couldn't adapt. This conceals a common dilemma in global manufacturing. An IFS Global Manufacturing Survey shows that 82% of manufacturers believe they cannot survive the next 3 years without digitization, yet only 10% become digital pioneers, while 65% are stuck in transformation stagnation. Source: the paper. Western manufacturing has fallen into a high-end trap, packaging digitization as an expensive technological luxury, often requiring companies to replace entire production lines and invest millions, completely detaching from the affordability of SMEs. Chinese entrepreneurs, however, found the key to breaking the deadlock within the real pain points of the shop floor. Zhou's trial and error proved profoundly that the core of technology implementation is never its advanced nature, but its adaptability to local industrial scenarios, a key factor ignored by the Western technology-first cognitive model. This cognitive bias has kept Europe and America from breaking through the bottleneck in the SME digitization race, while China has forged a differentiated path. Awakening from failure, Zhou Yuxiang's approach was thoroughly anti-elite. He abandoned the status of an investment banking elite and, taking two core partners, dove directly into factories in Ningbo, Chongqing, Qingdao, and Suzhou. They lived, ate, and worked alongside ordinary workers. During their days grinding on the assembly line, they figured out the true face of Chinese industrial digitization. It's not a lack of high-end algorithms, but a lack of practical tools to solve actual problems. In a cosmetic packaging material factory in Suzhou, they discovered a fatal pain point, as the factory shifted from accepting standardized large orders from major European and American brands to small batch, fast iteration customized orders. Traditional management methods failed completely. When switching orders, production line debugging and material checking took 5 hours, while actual production only took 5 hours. Half the time was wasted, and efficiency plummeted. After identifying the pain point, Zhou's team wrote simple software in just 3 weeks and selected one workshop for testing. When they returned 3 weeks later, it was the workers from the untested workshops who came looking for them. It turned out that after using the software, waiting times were shortened, and workers' piece rate wages increased by several hundred yuan a month. This tangible benefit made the worker demographic actively seek out this tool. This bottom-up innovation driven by demand stands in sharp contrast to the European and American top-down model of technology imposition. The explosion of Black Lake Little Work Order, Heihu Xiaogongdan, precisely hit the inclusive pain points of global manufacturing. Priced at just 10,000 renminbi annually, 1/10 or even 1/20 the cost of similar Western products, it covers all core functions. Factory owners can monitor the production progress and material consumption of every order in real time on their phones, giving accurate answers immediately when clients ask about shipment status. Workers can also quickly report process completion via the software, avoiding statistical omissions. Xinjiait, a factory second generation running a fastener factory in Fujian, was once overwhelmed by manual reports and manual checks for over 600 product models. After using Little Work Order, he could not only track order progress in real time and precisely calculate costs and gross margins, but factory collaboration efficiency also soared, leading to a direct 10% increase in annual revenue. Misue Bingcheng, a major tea and ice cream chain, even used this tool to link over 40,000 global stores with back-end production capacity, allowing store sales data to inversely guide the supply of coffee beans from Yunnan and passion fruit from Guangxi, achieving production sales coordination. In contrast, while China's manufacturing digitization investment ratio is only 0.5% to 1%, far lower than the 3% to 5% in Europe and the US, its adoption rate is surpassing the West. The core reason is that Western products are detached from the payment ability and actual usage needs of the majority of enterprises. Today, Black Lake Technologies covers 41 industrial categories including machinery, electronics, food, and pharmaceuticals. It has also integrated large model technology into low-cost products to achieve advanced functions like intelligent scheduling and fault warning, forming a complete service link of Black Lake Smart Manufacturing, Little Work Order, supply chain. Even as an industry leader, Zhou Yuxiang maintains the habit of running to the front line, often traveling to industrial parks in remote areas and small-town factories to understand the pain points of different scenarios. This attitude of rooting in the industry and staying close to the front line contrasts sharply with Western tech companies that distance themselves from the production end and develop behind closed doors. Data shows that while the AI application adoption rate in top European manufacturing companies exceeds 30% and reaches 28% in the US, China's rate is under 11%, but its growth rate is double that of Europe and the US. Source: National Party Media Information Platform. The inclusive model is accelerating the closing of China's manufacturing digital gap. The silhouette of Zhou Yuxiang staying up late writing code in a leaky guesthouse in Shanghai's Changning district hides the underlying code of China's manufacturing transformation, not blindly replicating Western paths, but growing solutions adapted to its own industrial soil. That 50 yuan AR night room, which leaked when it rained and was located right above Metro Line 10, convenient for the team to catch the early high-speed rail to Zhejiang factories for testing, witnessed the grounded, hard-working character of Chinese entrepreneurs. The Great Revolution stirred up by this little work order has not only rewritten the digital landscape of Chinese manufacturing but also tells the world, manufacturing digitization is never a game for a few elites, but a common proposition concerning the survival of millions of enterprises and the vitality of the global industry. Follow me. In the next issue, we will dig deep into how Misue Bingcheng relies on this Chinese industrial software to open up the supply chain link between 40,000 plus global stores and back-end production sites, and see if this inclusive model can break the inherent industrial ecology when tested in European and American markets.